Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, Speaker.
Colin, kan je me hoor?
You can speak a word, yeah.
Colin, maar is het bietjie dowerig, kan ons die klank so bietjie hoor maak dalk?
Can speak in my nou hoor.
Nou praat ons reg, ek het wat hier 'n goeie handie aan my linkerkant.
Okay.
Dankie Colin.
Okay.
Veel mense is ons 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Dis 'n groot.
What is Cedric?
Cedric.
Ja, kom on, zie jij zo dat muziek. Kom on, zie Zo.
Raadslede net 'n oombliekie. Kan ek net gou aandag kry? Raadslede, ek saai my dag uit op Teams. U hoef nie u rekenaars aan te sit nie, ek dink ons kan mekaar goed genoeg hoor. So en dit sal 'n Babelse verwarring wees as al die rekenaars aan is. Ons sal nog so oor 5 minute van ons begin. Ek gaan net so lank met 'n roll call begin. Get a pen. Onderburgemeester is hier, ek myself is hier. Raadslid Baron is nog nie hier nie. Byman, Ubelo, Boysen, Councillor Boeddha, de Lamine, de Klerk, Councillor Vivas, are you in? Councillor Vivas, I think I've got another chair for you, seeing that we need some social distance. You must sit in the gallery, please. There's a name on one of that chairs. Dame Fortuin, dankie, jy's hier. Ernest. That's hier Groenewald Gous, Jansen van Rensburg, Comfort bedank. Kannemeyer, Erika, wat het Kannemeyer, ek het jou gesien, Erika, jy's hier? Councillor Litsaba het verskoning gemaak. Councillor Bandesi, not here yet. Councillor Malombo, he's not in.
Present.
Are you on Teams? Where are you, my dear?
At home.
Where?
I'm at home.
We would love to have you in council, but yeah, let's go and see what if it works out. Tabu en Wumbu, Raadslid Reuters, Raadslid Siyoko en Van Dijk. Die ander sal ek te gelegener tyd aankondig. Hoeveel dae is ons nou in die lockdown? 500 en hoeveel man nog meer? Ja, sir.
Dit is zo'n beetje 600.
Dit nou nie vir 'n feit stel nie, want dit is wat ek wil sê.
Het 6 van maart laas jaar.
Ja.
Augustus 500 dae.
Sê weer?
20 Augustus was 500 dae.
Ja, Augustus, September, Oktober, dan is dit 560 man of meer.
Ja, jy wil project. Ons moet laat afval se klas moet maar sonder die kaart. Hy sê hy wil nie.
Wat myne nou in die laaste tyd doen, ek het mos 2 e-posadresse. Hy vat net die een. Jy kan met doordruk op die ander een.
Ja, dit is. Dit so maklik.
Maar hy het my goed gered. Ek hou van van die Android. Kon ek die kant aantekeninge het my help baie. Het vat baie tyd, maar as jy hier kom is alles gereed. Maar nou met die stelsel wat nou nee, nog makliker.
Ja.
Kan ek net toets die direkteure in die kantore, kan u vir my hoor?
Goeiemôre speaker, ek hoor vir u.
Baie dankie, direkteur Nel. Ek neem dan aan as direkteur Nel my kan hoor, die res van u kan my ook hoor. Ons sal so oor 'n paar minute begin. Stanford, I think is somewhere around here you might be a name on its desk. Just come and have a look.
Speaker. Jy mag net met die vier staan in vir meneer Naidu, waarnemende direkteur.
Ja, daar gaan die very nice blue shirt.
Nogal Garden Route, Barney. Nogal Garden Route wat jy adverteer, né?
Jy het die Bybel gesien dat.
Ja.
He is looking good.
Ja. Ja. Sorry.
Dis kalm so goed, selfs die vroue.
Dat sal nou wegvat, maar
Ja.
ek agterink.
Ja, nee, sy sal nie. Sy kyk net wie sy vir haar presensie is.
Oh nee, ja, dankie vir jou moeite maak vir my. Jou moet vra om my in te skakel op Teams.
Jou beheerende partij is niet meer positie klein partij raad werk. Ja, dus in het parlement werkt zo politieke hulp. Je ziet dat de burger is misschien wel niet helemaal.
Kan ons net die deure daar, maar net ons die deure toemaak asseblief? Dankie, as het Leon. Raadslede, goeiemôre. Good morning to you all. For the first time in almost 560 days, it's a very good scene to see you, each and everyone around the table again. We missed you, not seeing you, and that's why I've decided on this last day of our term, I want to do it in the council chambers, so that when we, for me as well, not here anymore, that I can put my imagination in reverse, and whenever I think of it, I will think of a full house like this morning. Thank you everyone for coming, and if I ask you to bow your heads and I'll do a prayer. Here, oggend Here, wil ek vir u dankie sê. Dankie Here vir 5 jaar wat hierdie span Mossel by gelei het, en Here, elkeen van hulle het 'n stempel afgedruk in Mossel Bay. Hoe groot of hoe klein dit mag wees, elkeen van hierdie lede is ook erkende Christene wat u beeld uitdra. Here, ons dankie dat ons elke dag kon vra. Ons dankie dat ons meer gekry het, Here, as dit wat ons gevra het. Dankie Here vir seën op ons dorp. Dankie Here vir seën in ons streek. En Here, laasnag het u weer gewys. Al is dit droog, kan u dit in 'n oogwink laat verander. Dankie Here vir reën wat u oor die aarde uitgeskiet het. Giet dit ook so uit, Here, oor elkeen van ons se lewens, sodat ons sal leef en sal leer wat u van ons verwag. Here, baie dankie nogmaals, om Jesus naam, amen.
Amen.
This morning, the procedures will be, I will start with the opening and the present. I've ticked off everyone that entered the door, and I have applications for leave for our mayor, Alderman Harry Levendal. I also have an absence for leave for Councillor Petrus Lechaba. He said to me this morning he's got a cold. Let's hope it's only a cold and it's not the dirty virus again. And just want to see Councillor Lechaba, you are not here, but you linked on Teams, so you will be marked as present. Councillors, you might have seen on the right-hand side, there's a few clip-drift boxes. It's not what you think it is. It's for each and every one of us. There will be a certificate to show some gratitude for what you did in the past 5 years, and some of us for the last 10 years. And that was the initiative of our Deputy Mayor. Deputy, I thank you for thinking long into the future. When we are old people, we'll live, I think we must leave the old, but retired people, we can show our grandchildren what Opa and Oma did when they were part of the Mossel Bay and part of the Mossel Bay Council. I want to ask the mayor to present these certificates, and who will be the hand to help him? Ronel, thank you very much. Ronel is so spaarwiel wat oral pas. As soon as you got a problem, you phone Ronel. And 100% of the time, you will have an answer that suits you. Thank you, Ronel, for what you did to us, and for us, and being one of us. I want you to, if you want to say something, Mayor, I would love that. Put on your microphone and you can address the floor.
Speaker, thank you very much. It's a great honor. I did not prepare a formal speech. I suppose one would like to say those words not from a piece of paper. So it will be a great honor this morning to hand over these certificates. Although we politicians and made up of different political parties, I think in council we treated each other in a way that presents leadership and also that portrayed a picture of leadership and of people with integrity and people who are grown-ups and not childish, busy with childish plays and games all day long or with each and every council meeting. So I think that is one of the reasons we've got relative political stability in Mossel. I'm of the opinion that that's one of the reasons why we've got proper management for decision taking in Mossel. So to each and every councillor who walked this past 5 years with us, or with me and the speaker and obviously with the team, thank you very much for the inputs, the energy, for representing the communities you represent. And I think we worked well together. So thank you from my side to each and every one. And then also to the administration speaker, I think we can really say with trots, you can proudly say that we can always rely, or the past 5 years we could always rely on the backing of the administration. We as politicians ask a lot of stuff, and obviously there's a lot of requests from the community on a daily basis, and obviously there's not always funding or budget, and you cannot say yes to anything or any and everything. And I suppose that's what leadership and decision taking and management is all about, to also show leadership, but also to be able to say no at times. So for all the times that the management could say yes to requests, we thank them very much for that and for the way that they treated the politicians as well. And I think also from the politician side, I think we treated our administration with dignity and respect. And I think that is also the reason why we've got this symbiosis of a good working relationship between politicians and administration in Mossel Bay. So thank you very much to each and every manager, each and every person on the administrative side of things in this organization. It takes every person in the machine, every part of or every ear of the machine to make it function. So yeah, amen to you and your whole team, all the directors, all your managers. Thank you very much for your diligent work and commitment towards service delivery to our community. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we ask the community to be patient with us for the next week or so. I suppose there will still be a bit of political shenanigans, like councillors who decide that they will retire a few days after or before the end of the term, but still also after obviously receiving the old paycheck and so forth. So we will have that kind of shenanigans for the next few days, the silly season, as they say. But yeah, then the majority will vote, or the people who's registered will vote. And then I suppose those of us who come back will have our hands full once again to serve the community with all the requests that comes in on a daily basis. But from my side, Speaker, thank you very much to each and everyone. And I think we will look finally back over this 5 years. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy. The Brunel will pass the certificates. The Deputy will hand it and I will read the names. At first, Executive Mayor Alderman Levendal, unfortunately, he could not make himself available today. So we will bring that to his house. Deputy will do that. The next one, Deputy, I don't know. I think I must come down and hand this one over to you. Baie geluk. Dirk was the chair of the branch, and at first he started as one of the members and then as the chair, and we followed one another or each other, and today it's the end of the circle. And Dirk, baie geluk, baie dankie, en ons gaan nog baie van jou hoor. Ek het gehoor in die week dat iemand in Pretoria gesê het, Harry, burgemeester van Mossel by ons wil hom in Pretoria. Dit is die mooiste woorde wat ek ooit vir 'n burgemeester gehoor het. Baie dankie.
Speaker, speaker kan maar bly.
Dis 'n bly.
Dis volgende aan die lys.
Speaker, as ek nou maar 'n paar woorde sê, so speaker gesê het, if you will allow me to say it in Afrikaans, ek het betrokke geraak, hele klompie jaar terug, seker 12 jaar gelede, by jou tak, waar jy voorstel was, en ja, baie dankie vir die mentorskap en leierskap, hoe manier jy ons raad gelei het, en vir alles wat ek weet kan leer. Groot waardering, ek sien Petro baie keer as my politieke pa ook so, groot waardering vir jou leierskap.
Dankie, raadslede. Alderman Byman.
Ek is nou gedog, raas het by my van die pinkpak aan het.
Thank you, Cliffy, for what you did for us. All those housing pains and toilet pains you had. Yeah, you went through it and you passed the test. Die volgende een, Alderman Nicholas Boysen. Councillor Boysen and myself, we were campaigners and we were foot soldiers, as we call it. Seeing part of it, we were real soldiers as well. And yeah, today you can see what hard work brings to the table.
Thank you.
Thank you. Baie geluk, Raad het Boysen. Councillor Anton Delamain. The champion of the WhatsApps. Nothing happens in town that no one knows about. Older lady, 14. The mother of the unfortunate. Next one, Councillor Mark Furness. Councillor Mark Furness, the Minister of Finances, and the one with the quick tongue. And sometimes there's a few words that fly out, and yeah. But Councillor Furness, thank you very much for all the services rendered to us.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Speaker.
Councillor Baron. Councillor Baron, baie geluk. Die man wat sorg dat ons veilig slaap, omdat hy die kriminele huisves en kyk dat hulle nie verder kwaad doen nie. Hy is ook, as julle sy tong gehoor het, is hy besig om die Khoi taal te leer en vir ons ook te leer. Baron, baie dankie. Councillor Bobello. When I saw Councillor Nossi this morning, I thought it was a daughter who was sitting in the chair. Myself and the Bobello family comes from out of the 60s.
Yes.
Councillor Buddha. Sige. Okay, ek sal dit doen. The goat farmer, all these goats that eat your flowers, this is the owner of it. Councillor Buddha, I think it was your second term and you're coming up now for the third term?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
To see after the 1st of November.
Okay, yeah. Maybe you will be here. Thank you, Councillor Buddha. Older lady Mari, the clerk. Yeah, the cradle of finances in town. Everything you don't know, ask Mari. She will have an answer for that.
Ek wil antwoord op wat speaker nou gesê het. Sy sal 'n antwoord hê op alles. Ja, maar as ek nie sulke intelligente mense geken het soos wat hier rondom in die tafel sit nie, sou ek nie aanhou die right answer gekry het.
Hoor.
Baie dankie.
Councillor Fifas, you might make yourself ready. Thank you, Mari. Councillor Fifas, one of the lawyer councillors, she's always here. Councillor Gous, the queen of questions.
You couldn't read it. Thank you very much.
Alderman Barney Groenewald. The one with the finest eyes for the spelling error, he will pick it up. Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg. Die muur van die raad. Sy is altyd besig en sy knyp ook party slaan nogal seer.
Baie dankie.
Our latest addition to Councillor Cedric Jansen from Klein Brakrivier. Unfortunately, Councillor Jansen, I don't know you so good, I cannot say something about you, but you never missed a meeting. Dan raadlid Kamfer met al sy geite, hy verdien ook 'n sertifikaat. Ons sal dit vir hom laat afgee by iemand. Councillor Kannemeyer. Die beste chocoladekoek in Tarka en in Mossel Bay word daar deur Marilyn gebak. Councillor Peter Lechaba. Councillor Lechaba is not here, but Councillor Lechaba is one of those councillors, wherever you find him or seeing, he's the same as he was yesterday. And he speaks Afrikaans better than I can do speak English. And yeah, He was a great friend of mine, Councillor Lichaba. Dan kyk ons Councillor Bandesi. Hierdie klein russiekies, hierdie goed wat jou brand. Councillor Bandesi, always looking for trouble. But yeah, it was a pleasure having you here.
You.
Councillor Malombo, you've made it, Councillor. I thank you for that one. Councillor Malombo, the one who's always taking consideration the voters in a ward. Thank you, Councillor. Raadslid Erika Meyer. Erika, die vrou wat altyd glimlag, ook die een met die moeilikste wijk, want almal wil Delmeida hê. En soccer coach, Councillor Thabo Mvumvu. Thabo. Great stop. Thank you, Thabo. Die laaste een is raadslid Leon van Dijk. Raadslid van Dijk. Ek het een, Leon, staan net so daar, ek het een gemis. Raadslid Reiters. Is daar een vir haar? Is daar een vir haar? Ja. Raadslid Reiters, kom eers gou man. Raadslid Reiter is die Deputy Mayor of Garden Route. En nou los hem net vir laaste. Leon, hier is Leon. Raadslid Leon. Raadslid Leon is besig om ons veiligheidsstelsel in werking te kry, sodat die van u wat nou al rus slaap nog beter kan slaap in die toekoms. Dan op heel laaste het ek vir Julia Sioko. Julia het altyd 'n probleem om in te log op die Teams. En wanneer dit nie apraan is, dan sê sy speaker. Maar ons is lief vir jou, dit is hoekom ek het laaste doen, Julia. Baie dae weet ek, jy was nie lekker nie, jy was siek, jy het omgegee vir die mense in jou wijk, jy het omgegee vir jou gesin in die wijk, die man wat siek was en jy het hulle almal deurgetrek, Julia. Baie geluk en baie dankie vir dit wat jy vir ons gedoen het in die afgelope 5 jaar. Ek dink ons is hier almal, onderburgemeester, dankie dat jy vir ons inisiatief gebring het vir hierdie, soos ek reeds gesê het, vir hierdie pragtige sertifikate. En Ronel, ja, ek het gesê sy is die spaarwiel wat alles pas. Ronel, baie dankie. Ek wil vir jou gelukwens vandag, Ronel, met die groot stap wat jy geneem het om jou eie huis te koop. En ek weet wat dit is om te trek. Ek was baie gelukkig. Elke slag as ek getrek het, was dit my vrou en my pa wat ingepak het en ek moes maar werk. Dit is die vrou in die huis wat sorg dat alles ingepak is en laat almal weet waar alles is by uitpak. Ek wil vir jou sê, geniet die dag verder. Ons is bly jy was hier, maar gaan help jou mense om jou huis deur mekaar te maak. Baie gelukkig Ronel. Dan so of net voor ek dan nou aangaan met die orde van die dag, the LMM, acting MM, will have a word at the end. And I've asked Nossi when we on the last item, she will sing us a song, a prayer, and then that will be Nossi will be doing that, so that we can always remember this day of today, Nossi. And Nossi, then I've learned that you've lost a brother in the near prayer. Was it last week? I think of the sorrow you have in your heart, leaving a brother behind. But be sure he's in a better place that we are in. And I know that's, I always said that's kind words, it say nothing. When I lost my son, I wouldn't urge someone to say this to me. I didn't believe it. But when I received so much grace from God, I've decided, no, you're wrong. And with the passing of your brother, we think of that as well. Strongs for you, my God. Dan gaan ons aan. I'm at Roman 4. Disclosure of interest in terms of Schedule 1, Code of Conduct for Councillors in terms of Local Government Systems Act, Act 32 of 2000. Is there anyone of our councillors that can directly be linked to one of these points on the agenda? You can give me a hand. I see the hand, the light of Councillor Furness.
Good morning, Speaker. E267 Winston Park, if I could please excuse that.
Thank you, Councillor. I know that you're not linked to that, but your late father was one of the owners that is around that park, and yeah, I take note of it. Thank you very much. Anyone else from our councillors? No one. Then we go on to Roman 5. Disclosure of benefits in terms of Schedule 2, Section 5, Code of Conduct for the officials of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, Act 32 of 2000. Is there any one of the officials that might be linked to one of these points on the agenda? Please draw my attention. When I hear complete silence, I assume there's no one. Then confirmation and signing of the previous council minutes. I hope you went through it, and I haven't received any queries on spelling of typing errors. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for that we can take cognizance of the minutes? Ordinary council minutes held on the 30th of September. It's folios number 14678 to 1800. A proposer and a seconder for taking cognizance of it.
Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor Anton Delamain, can I have a seconder for that?
Thank you, Speaker. I second. It's Councillor Annie van Rensburg.
Seconded by Councillor Annie van Rensburg. I saw your light, Councillor Gous.
Yes, Speaker. Thank you. I did submit a correction on the minutes, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. But the administration probably easy to refresh this with me quickly. But I think it was on the first time. Oh no, it was on Councillor Kupfer's item. It states that the recommendation was accepted unanimously. BP didn't approve that recommendation. So if they can just be correct, thank you, Speaker.
Scribe, I can remember that. Can you rectify it, please? Thank you very much. In the next one is Roman 6. Just 1 second, please. Roman 7. Cognizance, executive mayors and deputy executive mayors resolutions in terms of delegated authority as provided for in section 59(1)(a) of the Act on Local Government Municipal Systems. That's Act 32 of 2000. I'll bring to you the item numbers. Items number FC 53 of 10/2021 up till FC 60 of 10/2021. Items number G48 of 10/2021 to G52 of 10/2021. Items number CS33 up to CS35 of 10/2021. Items number PE137 up till PE151 of 10/2021. Items number T40 up till T44 of 10/2021. Items number CG43 up till CG46 of 10/2021. Items number UB22 of 09/2021 to UB23 of 10/2021. Can I have a proposer and a seconder that we can take cognizance of it? It is proposed by Councillor Anton Delamain. Do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Speaker. I'll second.
Seconded by Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg. Read it Roman 8. Cognizance municipal manager resolutions in terms of delegated authority as per Council Resolution E127 of the 11th month of 2008 as provided for in section 59(1)(a) of the Act on Local Government Municipal Systems, Act 32 of 2000. Are you on Teams, Councillor? Councillor Bandesi? Can you please mute that? Thank you, Councillor Mark. Cognizance, do we have, and I've got still one that I've missed. No. Roman 7, proposer was Councillor Anton, and the seconder was Ansie Jansen van Rensburg, and then the next one at 5, Roman 8. Cognizance municipal manager resolutions in terms of delegated authority as per Council Resolution E127 of 2008 as provided for in section 59(1)(a) of the Act of Local Government Municipal Systems, the usual Act 32 of 2000. I don't have a lot of them. It's a GM67 up till GM62. Can I have a proposer and a seconder?
Thank you, Speaker. I'll gladly propose to take note of the resolution.
Thank you. Proposed by Alderman Groenewald. And do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Speaker.
Seconded by Councillor Anton Delamain. We spoke a lot about a lot of things, but the executive mayor, do you have any communication you want to bring to us anymore? Not yet. Then the speaker, and abide with me for a few seconds. I want to thank each and every one of you for assisting me and helping me out and be a very, very wonderful council. I've been in council in Hartenbos many moons ago, and there was a fight almost every single council meeting. And then I came in here about 10 years ago, and there were fightings and infightings and people running around and threatened the mayor and threatened some of our councillors, banging their agendas onto the counters. Nothing of that happened in this last 5 years. And I think for that, you have to give yourself a tap on your own shoulder. because you're exceptional. And I will not like to make provisions, but I think this year will be known as one of the better and the best that Mossel Bay will ever have. Take it from me, I've been there and I'm still here, and I know who am I working with. Thank you, councillors, for each and every one of you. I've said it twice, I will say it for the third time. Thank you, councillors. I adore what you did to me and to Mossel Bay. Thank you very much. I will now go to Garden Route, and those councillors that's been in Garden Route, they can tell a lot of stories. I won't give them a floor this morning. But I'm not going there to go and have a retirement job. I'm going there to fight for the rights of Mossel Bay, the people of Mossel Bay. Trying to see that money is not spent irregular, and we will come to one of these items today that specify irregular spending. One of those I don't understand, because not a cent was being spent on that item, but we will come to that later on. I want to conclude, and I want to say it again. You are exceptional people. I did enjoy it to work with you. And we started way back in March 20, what was it, more than a year and a half ago. And we were worried what will be the next. How are we going to do our council meetings? I talked to this then MM, and he said to me, and I asked him, what are we going to do in the month of May when we put our budget to the test? And he said to me, by that time, we will greet each other with a hand. It didn't happen. So from out of the offices of Mossel Bay, we asked Cocta we want to do it by virtual means. Most of you will remember the day that IT came in here, and most of us were totally confused of what will be happening the next day. And yeah, the first one was not that easy. Second one was easier. And I can categorically tell you that the virtual meetings for councillors started in Mossel Bay. And for that, you can give yourself a tap on your shoulder again. Enough said. We can go on with the order of the day. And I will not forget you. I will pop in, or I will send you from the district. I will send you some written matter so that you can.
Before you start with the agenda, I think you need to inform us about who belongs where before the meeting starts. I think in the last few days, a lot of road crossing took place.
Can you talk a little louder, please?
If I understand correctly, the last few days, a lot of floor crossing took place. If you are aware, you must inform us. But if everything is still the same, then it's fine with me. But the rumors all over Mossel Bay said there was floor crossing. I just want to know who's standing.
You know, the speaker is the odd one out. I'm the one that only hear about things at the last, so I'm not sure about that. I won't stick out my neck and be slaughtered. We had E260 Joint District and Metro Approach, JDMA. Those of you who read through it last month will be remind yourself that there was a problem. It was linked to another item on the agenda, and that 100 pages of info wasn't apart from the other, so we brought it forward, and here it is today. Joint District and Metro Approach, JDMA. That's the one plan that's on the table. Can I have a proposer and seconder that we adopted?
Thank you, Speaker, if you allow me.
I do so.
It's a privilege for me, and thank you also for sending me as one of your reps to Garden Route. It's really a district municipality that punches far above its weight, and I proudly support the recommendation of the agenda.
Thank you, Councillor. It's been proposed. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Erika Meyer. Thank you. Any discussions on it?
Speaker, no discussion, but just some comment if I may. I think while the plan is admirable, I'm not sure the implementation is going to go as smoothly as what we would hope. And because I've been a representative of the Mossel Bay Municipality, my concern is for our town. And regarding the reprioritization, as ek so sukkel as ek Engels is, wil ek nie weet hoe sê julle dit nie. But of our budget, my concern is that Mossel Bay might end up having to take a second seat when the greater district is considered. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we're looking at a form of centralization, which is not admirable or not preferable for the citizens of Mossel Bay, and that's my only concern. I understand that we have no choice, that it has to be implemented. And so I do take cognizance. It's just something I would like to put on the table, that we always make an effort to still prioritize our people in the area. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. This is only the first word of it, and that's not the last word. There are many drops of rain have to fall before everything will be finalized. But yeah, I take notice of what you said. Councillor Barney, or Alderman Barney.
Thank you, Speaker. No, I would just like to say that rest assured that the leadership of Garden Route and those that will return to Garden Route, there's a very strong foundation that's been laid at Garden Route. And I can promise and I can give an undertaking that Garden Route will never, at district municipality, try to usurp any function of any big municipality. It will be there to coordinate the functions. We know what happened in the past is that various spheres of departments of government work separately. There's a human settlement establishment, but there are no schools. So this is an effort for collaboration between all parties that can make a difference in the community. But rest assured that it will be a supportive role and without taking over any function whatsoever or interfere in the budgets of peace for that matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. There's no one against it. Then E260 carries through as an unanimous vote. Thank you, councillors. The next one, E261, Finance Management Report, September 2021. Councillor Bobello, you were thrown onto the deep side, but you made a success of it. Thank you for being the chair of Impact. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for the E261? No, yeah, 261. Thank you. Sorry. Proposed by Councillor Nosi Bobello. Do I have a seconder for that one?
I second it.
Seconded by Councillor Malombo. Thank you. Then there's no one against. Councillor Gous, you're not against, but...
Yes. Thank you, Speaker. I take cognizance. I would like to just make note that the administration, please remember to invite all councillors to Impact meetings. And then I do just want to mention that something of concern that I noted is our debt collection period, which is not looking good. I understand the challenges that we face, and I'm sure that our administrative staff are fully aware of it as well. But this type of thing can run us into trouble, particularly if I see our expected revenue was also less due to grant funding mostly, is what the report says. But the two in collaboration can spell disaster. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. I've been noticed. I've read through it. There's some alterations to the what is he? No, it's not in Gita. No. That's the vet. But the amendments, the structures. There have been proposals for amendments to the structure Act. And I don't want to sell it for the truth, so I rather not say it. But I think there's something about impact in there as well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that we don't do at the moment that's been in that act. That act will come into life one of these days soon. Yeah, and there you've got it from both sides of the desk. So yeah, but what you said might be taken into consideration. I will not say yes or no on that. I've read through it, but I didn't made it myself. So my own, I wouldn't go farther on that one. Then I don't have any proposals against. E261 then carries through as an unanimous vote. Thank you, Councillor Yossi, for what you did. I'm at E262, Colin. E262 implementation of administrative education of road traffic offences, Act 46 of 1998 R2 and its regulations, phase 2, issuing authority. You know, R2 is always on the front end, but always on the last end as well. So I think we must take this into consideration. This is not the last word of R2. There's quite a lot of things to be done, but I think it's a possibility, not a possibility. We have to do it this week so that when the next councillor come in, they have something to work on. E262, can I have a proposer and a seconder for that one?
Speaker, I will gladly propose, Councillor Leon van Dijk.
Councillor Leon van Dijk, the proposer, and the seconder?
Speaker, I second it.
Councillor Nicholas Boysen, Alderman. And just one thing, I've had a chat this morning with Councillor Bandesi, sorry, Councillor Bandesi. He asked me about being alderman or being older lady. What does it mean? And in Mossel Bay, we're fortunate that you only need 15 points, and in the rest of the Western Cape, it's 20. I don't know what's going on in the rest of the country, but 1 point is 1 year in office. Added to it, and if you're on the MACO, that's another point. If you're the speaker or the deputy mayor or the mayor, you automatically goes through as an alderman or an older lady. But as I said, 15 points is the ultimate to become an older lady or an alderman. Thank you, councillors. I want to go.
My apologies on the item.
Yes.
One of the points raised was that we had concerns with the service level agreement with the Road Traffic Improvement Agency. Is it possible that the administration can just mention what those concerns were, because they aren't noted in the item as presented to us? Thank you, Speaker. I have no issue with the payment holiday.
Yeah.
We'd just like to know what those concerns were. Thank you.
Mr. Prince.
Speaker, thank you. Just briefly, I don't have the letter in front of me, Council, but just out of my head, one of the major concerns was that the two agreements, the one with the post office and the one with the traffic agency, didn't read together. There should in fact be 3 parties on each agreement. So we don't read together. The traffic infringements agency has its own agreement and the post office has its own agreement. That was one of the major concerns. There are major other smaller infringements in the agreement. I can't remember the detail now. But you're welcome. I'll give you a copy of the letter if you want to have a look at it.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. Are you satisfied, Councillor Gous? Thank you very much. Then there's no no's about it, and it carries through as an unanimous vote. Thank you. Next one, Carl. 263, lease of parking space and a portion of a building that's about 546 square on a portion of Earth 2001 Mossel Bay, situated at the Mossel Bay Golf Estate Joint Operations Center. I don't know who of you have been there. We're preparing the Joint Operations Center, or the JOC, on the field, on the what do you call it, a golf course. I don't play golf, so that's why I'm stuttering about it. And there's a beautiful thing going up. I say thing, I mustn't say thing, I must say offices. And I've been there the other day and I was amazed at what have been done. And I can see what will be the outcomes of it for in Mossel Bay. If I will not elaborate too much on it, but I've seen possible offices for the police, for the traffic, Mossel Bay traffic as well. And there's a lot of things that will be coming. There will be cameras in town, and it will link to screens in that office, so you will be able to see what's going on. For instance, in Mar Street, and if there's something happening that's going skew, you can pick it up. The police can go there and fix it up for us, and we will have a very, very pleasant town to live in future. E263, voorsteller en 'n sekondant.
Thank you, Speaker. I will propose Councillor Leon van Dijk.
Proposed by Councillor Leon van Dijk. Do I have a seconder?
Speaker, I will second it.
No one else, then it carries through as unanimous vote. Thank you, councillors. I'm at 264. Quarterly reports for the expenditure section of the period ending 30th of September 2021. Councillor Gous have mentioned the problem with finance, and that's not on this point, but section for the period of expenditure. We must look at our expenditure. I know we don't waste any money, but trouble is coming up from the front, and we must look at our spending. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for 264 quarterly reports?
I will propose.
Proposed by Councillor Mark.
Speaker, I will second it. Mari.
Seconded by Councillor Mari. Amper sê ek Ferreira. Mari de Klerk, dankie. No one against, then it carries through as an unanimous vote. Councillor Gous.
Nothing against. I just want to express thanks for the bursaries and the monies to the All Saints Brigade from the Naval Fund. I'm sure it was welcomed by the recipients, but also just want to thank the acting mayor for the assistance to the brigade. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Our community will always be the first. E265 performance evaluations and bonuses of directors. That's a given. It's happening each and every year.
Speaker,
And, yes, sir.
Speaker, can I just ask that myself and the directors will excuse us from this item? I'm sorry we didn't mention it up front.
Yeah, then you have to put off your PCs and don't don't cheat on us. No, that's only tongue in the cheek. Thank you, MM. I'll take note of that. Voorsteller en 'n sekondant. En daar's
Mr. Speaker, can I speak? I'll propose this time around. Morning.
Councillor Mari. And the seconder was Councillor Mark. Then the next one will be 266.
Councillor Gous, I wouldn't like to let this item go past without, I know, expressing on behalf of everybody else as well. I'm quite sure our appreciation to our directors. I've said it in previous council meetings, and I know many of my fellow councillors have said the same thing, that we often get recognised for their very hard work. And so we just want to express our thanks towards them for the fact that they are such diligent workers and people of excellence. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. We don't altijd gesing, and so say all of us. Thank you. The next one. Delegation to the acting municipal manager. E266. We know that we will, just one thing before I go on this. I've learned that the voting will be on the 1st. And I think around about the 4th of November, the IEC will confirm. So you will stay members of this council up till the 4th of November. On the 4th of November, after the IEC brought out the names, the new councillors will be seen as councillors as from that day, the 4th of November. So no one will lose out on it. I think we don't think of how many dollars will change of hands for the generosity of this decision that was made. I think it was by IEC. I'm not sure about that. Don't take me up on that. What the fact is we will be councillors up to the 4th, and the new councillors, I suppose the 4th. I can't see that it will be earlier, but it will not be later than the 4th. And yeah, that's when the new actions start as well. Carlin? This is by 267, E267, downward adjustment, additional rate, Vincent Park special rating. Councillor Mark will leave the chamber.
Speaker, E266.
On 266. On 266.
266?
Yes. Thank you, Speaker. I would like to propose that we adopt the recommendation, and my congratulations to the formulation of the recommendation as such. Thank you.
And I've missed that one, sorry. Councillor Rosina Reiters, all the ladies, I see your light is on.
I will second, Speaker.
Seconded. Each and every one of you are invited to have a cup of coffee and something to eat. And that's not why I'm in a hurry to come to the table. Big one? Yeah. Can you hear us? Carlin?
We can hear, Speaker. I've sent the directors a message to say that we can log in again. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Councillor Mark, he left the room for those Vincent Park special rating area. Can I have a proposer and a seconder of 267? Thank you, Councillor Groenewald and Deputy, for keeping me on track. 267, down with adjustment.
I will propose, Speaker, Councillor Van Dijk.
Supposed by Councillor Van Dijk. Do I have a seconder for it?
Second, Speaker.
Seconded by Alderman de Kotse, our Deputy Mayor. Anyone against? No one against. Then E267 carries through as a unanimous vote. 268. Service level agreement, Mossel Bay Municipality, Inca Portfolio and Managers. Tender number TDR 184 of 2020-21. Municipal Finance Management Act number 56 of 2003, section 33. A lot have been said. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for this one, please?
Speaker, I'll propose.
Proposed by Councillor Mark. Do I have a seconder? Marie de Klerk, it's been proposed and seconded. Anyone against?
Speaker,
Anyone that have something to say about it? Councillor?
I just have a question for clarity, Speaker. I noticed that the item mentioned that we never received feedback timely from Provincial Treasury, and that was because they required additional information. But we stated that we had provided the relevant Section 33 information. Can I just ask what information did the Provincial Treasury require in addition? And what was our reasons for not providing it? I'm sure it would have been a simple matter to provide.
Thank you. There was some conversation on my right-hand side. I will come to you in a few minutes. Wie gaan antwoord? Meneer Prins?
Speaker, in brief, they requested information regarding the tender which falls outside the scope. And we replied to them, informing them as such. And we haven't received any response from them since then.
Okay, so to me, it's nothing fishy about it. Any one of you, do you abide with the proposal and the second, Councillor Gous?
Speaker, if I could just follow up for clarity, may I just ask what specifically about the tender? What did they want to know that we weren't open to give them?
Mr. Prince?
They requested information, for instance, regarding the specifications and the procurement processes, which has been duly followed and has been finalized.
I don't see any more lights, and we can go on to 269. 268 then carries through as an unanimous vote. 269, Tusong Center, South African Post Office, 12 months rental holiday. We all know what the problems was with the postal offices. They don't have any money, but in the vicinity of the Tusong Center, there's a lot of people that living there that have to walk to a post office, and there isn't one available. Now we've built it on a request from the post office. It's been finalized, and now there's a problem with the post office that cannot pay, but we do have the same problem with our people that have to walk to a post office and do some things at post office that only can be done at the post office, and that's the recommendation then, that we go for the 12-month paying holiday. One of these things that might not fall very good on the ears, but seeing what it's for, I think it's a very worthy recommendation. The recommendation is then that the South African Post Office be granted a 12-month rental holiday, that the South African Post Office accepts that during this time, all utilities costs, including municipal service accounts, will be for their account. Take note, please. It's not a holiday on that one as well. The maintenance of the South African Post Office must be included in the department's maintenance plan. And then the last one, that municipal manager is granted with delegation to sign the agreements and ensure that the parties are held accountable. Councillors, can I have a proposer and a seconder for this very important one?
Speaker, yeah, we were actually quite disappointed when we initially received the letter because we planned with them, and we received new funding and used a lot of our own, $2 million of our own funding to rent this facility for the purposes of SACO. And then when we asked them to come and cut the ribbon, they let us know, unfortunately, they cannot come anymore. We've then negotiated, asked for an urgent meeting with the DG or acting DG, who was luckily willing. She told us as well that they are making 1.2 million rand a year loss in Mossel, and that's why they're closing some of the offices. So then she asked if council will consider if we can give them a 12-month payment holiday. And obviously, I was glad at that stage when we negotiated that they are willing to reconsider, because I was really worried that we might lose it. So yeah, that is why this item is down on the table. And we are obviously we're gonna have to pay or lose the income, but I think way up towards or against the huge community staying in that area doesn't have this facility. I think it's a reasonable decision to take. So, Speaker, yeah, I would gladly propose.
Proposed by Deputy Mayor, seconded by?
I will second it.
Seconded by Alderman Voisin. Councillor Pandesi. Just 1 second. Is there, you will be next in the row. Alderman Groenewald, I didn't see your red light. You've got the floor.
Well, thank you. I'd just like to say to Councillor Pandesi, speed kills, just bear with me. Now, Speaker, I really would like to convey our sincerest thanks and appreciation to our acting executive mayor. It was one hell of a fight. This shows consistency and service by self, going the extra mile to ensure that our people get services. I would just like to convey our sincere thanks to him and all the other officials and the people have also assisted us in creating this opportunity for our people. Thank you.
Bandesi.
Speaker, thank you. No, Speaker, mine is just to ask for a question of clarity around the holiday, the payment holiday. Does it mean that if they get 12 months payment holiday, after the 12 months, they will be in arrears with the municipality, or it means that they will not have to pay at all that 12 months? I'm just asking that question as a clarity, because I remember during at some stage we gave people 3 months COVID holiday, and at the end of the day, people were told that they are owing the municipality.
Prince, can you elaborate on that
Yes,
one?
they would not have to pay, Speaker.
Okay, that's a freebie for a year. Councillor Gous?
Speaker, I think then perhaps the item should have been reworded, because I also understood payment holiday to mean that they were actually accruing that debt to us. So this is actually the item wording should perhaps be changed to be more precise, that we are actually writing that money out. So is there a way that we can perhaps reword that? Because payment holiday is deceptive in the sense that, you know, after a holiday, you would assume that the income would then be paid.
I do understand you, and I go with it. And Mr. Prince, can you put in some changes in it that we can take a decision on the new description?
If I may propose, Speaker, can we just add the words after the payment holiday sentence to say, in effect, council therefore writes off the amount due for that specific period.
I buy that one. Councillor Gous, are you satisfied with what was said?
Yes, I am.
Councillor Bandesi, you satisfied as well? Thank you, councillors. I see the hand of the Deputy Mayor. Deputy.
Proposing with that amendment.
Proposed with the amendment, the seconder. Are you with it as well? Otherwise, I would have a chat with you afterwards. Thank you very much.
May I just ask, I'm not opposing the item, I understand the need that is in that area. I'm just wondering how sustainable it is, because all over the country the post offices are closing. So is it something that we expect we will be able to sustain?
Speaker, we're also concerned, so yeah, I suppose we must stay hopeful. The acting DG seemed quite competent, and yeah, so let's hope they can turn things around, but I'm also a bit concerned.
Thank you, Deputy. We are all concerned, but I'm also, as I said, concerned about the services rendered to people and not rendered. Maybe after the year, they might see that one might become the head office of Mossel Bay instead of any one of the other, and then that's another ball game, but that's what I hope for. And I've read a story the other day, and it says, be careful for what you pray and what you ask for. You might not be satisfied with the outcomes of it. But in this instance, I think the outcomes will be positive. I do believe that. If there's no one against it, then it carries through as an unanimous vote. Thank you very much. The next one, E270, Colin. Thank you, Colin. Supply chain, little down, please. 270. Colin, can you go up a while and then so that it comes down for me? Nog 'n bietjie. Dankie. E270 of 10/2021 supply chain monthly report for deviations approved in the month of August 2021. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for this supply chain monthly deviations report?
My apologies, Speaker. Let me confess. I just received confirmation of an interview that will take place one, and I just had to respond to that. My apologies for my 15 minutes. And if I could please be excused, 12:15.
I usually say to my wife, don't you believe us when I say to her, we can also multitask.
I just don't want to lose the opportunity if I don't respond timely. So thank you, Speaker, and I'm glad you proposed it.
Thank you, Alderman. Second for that? Seconded by Councillor Erika Meyer. No one against? Then it carries through as an unanimous vote. I see some of our people are getting hot flashes, so we'll have to go on. We still have 2 pages to go through. So let's hope. 271. Monthly reports with regards to supply chain management, August 2021. It's almost the same as the previous one. Can I have a proposer and a seconder?
Speaker, I'll propose.
Proposed by Councillor Mark Furness, seconded by
I will gladly second. Thank you, Speaker. Councillor Van Dijk.
Councillor Van Dijk. Thank you very much. Anyone against? Going, gone. E272 will be then carries through as an anonymous vote. E271, sorry for that one. E272, writing off main stores and sub-store shortages. Financial year, I hope you've went through it and you've made it your own, how small the shortages were. Can I have a proposer and a seconder, please?
Speaker, I'll gladly propose this one.
Councillor Mark. And the seconder?
The second last time, Marie de Klerk.
Marie de Klerk. Thank you. Next one, I don't see anyone against. And it carries through as an unanimous vote. We then at 273, E273, writing of irrecoverable debts for the period ended August 2021. We've had some lengthy discussions during this meeting, so can I have a proposal and a seconder for the writing off? The worthy reasons were.
I'm coming to my last proposal, and that will be for 273.
Thank you, Councillor Mari. Thank you. Proposed by Councillor Mari. Do I have a seconder for 273?
I second.
Seconded by Councillor Bobello. Thank you, Councillor Nozi Bobello. Then it carries through as okay. Before I.
Thank you. I don't oppose the writing of bad debt, so to speak. My concern, though, is the amount of registered indigents that we do have. I understand that there are many people out there that are perhaps deserving of the status, but I also think that we might have a lot of people on the system registered as indigent, where an audit might reveal that they actually do not qualify. And I hope that in the new term, the new council will make work of a comprehensive audit for that. Thank you so much.
Will you please take note of that? Anyone else?
Can I have an opportunity to reply, please?
Big one.
Can I have an opportunity to reply, please?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just through you to Councillor Gas, we have had a comprehensive audit, and that has actually kicked up a big hoo-ha in town. You'll notice that a lot of people have been cut, and it's something that we're actively looking at, that we are on a monthly basis looking at usages, electricity usages or water usages of residents. So if we find that they are not in the bracket which the indigent people should be in, let's say it happens for 3 months that the water usage is high, someone will either go out and check the house, or there will be contact made with the residents to find out what's going on. So this is happening on a monthly basis, and we do have our finger on that. Very much. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mark. Are you satisfied with the answer? I still have a light from the deputy.
Speaker, thank you. Yeah, this is a matter of concern, and we've asked the CFO to look into it. It's important that we get the people who needs to be in the net, that we help them. The poor must be helped, but the people who can afford to pay must unfortunately pay. Our electricity bill for, I think, August was 53 million rand. So it's important that I also tell the community when we talk to them that we don't get the electricity for free. It's very expensive. So the people who can pay, we must get them out of the system so that they can pay. And then obviously the needy, the indigent, they must be helped. So we must get our system right. There is a bit of a challenge at this stage. That is also why our payment rate is not, it's reflecting that problem. So we definitely are aware and we are looking at systems. We've already asked to get other mistakes, what they do. They don't necessarily have systems. So at this stage, the CFO also gave some statements that they're looking at the hybrid system. We only had the valuation of property. Then the auditor found that that's not comprehensive enough. Then we moved to the 3,600 for stage 1 and so forth, or level 1. But we are looking at this stage at some kind of a hybrid, it seems.
Thank you, Deputy. Council Alderman.
All of us must be involved in this process, not only the municipality. It's the people, the councillors, the board committees, all stakeholders must be involved to make this, the right people get guided. So all of us must be involved.
You now remind me of an ad that was on TV when the lady said, "I like it when you speak so foreign." Okay, and then it carries through as unanimous vote. Thank you for your thinking it through and bring it to the table. I appreciate that. I'm on the next one, Colin. E274. Proposed delineation of Earth 5094 situated adjacent to Charles Street, Great Black River. That's next to the liquor store and this river there. And it's only for parking as I remember it right. Can I have a proposer and seconder? It's been proposed by Councillor Anton and proposer, seconder?
Second speaker.
Seconded by Deputy. I don't see any hands.
Councillor Gous abstained on the item, thank you.
Gou sodat haar naam aanteken teen die besluit asseblief. Skryf jy dit? Dankie. Then 274 carry through as an unanimous vote with the exception of the ACDP Councillor Gous. We're at the next one. 275. Proposed alienation of Earth 9102 situated adjacent to Earth 9103 in Nikolai Crescent. That's Mr. Kies, and that's a rectification of a problem we had for a long time, I suppose, Mr. Prince, am I right? And that's a rectification. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for E275? I see the light of older lady Rosina. Proposed by older lady Rosina Reiters. Do I have a seconder for Councillor Reiters?
I second.
Seconded by Councillor Nosi Bobello.
Speaker,
Councillor Gous.
may I just ask a question of clarity? My apologies if I have missed this previously, but the item mentions an encroachment. Could you just give a little bit more information about this item? As I've said, if it has been in council and I've missed it or I can't remember it, because we are disposing of the land directly to the purchaser. It's not going out on tender, so I'd just like a little bit more information on why we are doing so. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor. I brought in Mr. Stein on my left-hand side to give you some answers on that one. No, asseblief.
Yes, the owner of the adjacent property unknowingly built part of his residence over the adjacent property, which is now being sold to him. So that was the encroachment. And we also see that it will now be consolidated with its own property. And it is sold at market related price. So that is why it's a direct sale, because it is the adjacent property owner southeast. Is the only practical purchaser of the property.
You satisfied, Councillor Gous?
Thank you. I understand the problem. There's two questions that then are raised to me. Is that, did this owner follow the building procedures? Did he hand in building plans, or was this building erected without building plans? And then my concern, Speaker, is while I understand the problem and I understand that we need to rectify this, I don't want us to set a precedent, because it's happened in Johannesburg as well. We know with that tavern, that people build on land that doesn't belong to them, and then actually circumvent the entire legal process and the fair and just means of us disposing of our property, because it actually puts us in a very difficult position now. We have to either say break down, which is a not very kind action, but at the same time it would actually be a just action, because people are now buying land simply because they've built on it. That's ultimately what this comes down to. And that's a concern to me.
Anyone else on it?
Speaker,
Iemand?
answer on the building plans, thank you.
I'm waiting for that. Is daar iemand wat vir ons kan antwoord gee? Meneer Venter, is jy beskikbaar?
Speaker, ja nee, ek is beskikbaar. Miskien het ek nie alles mooi volledig gehoor nie, maar as dit gaan oor die indiening van bouplanne, dit kon dalk ingedien gewees het, maar ons kan nie as enige gebou wat oor grense strek mag nie goedgekeur word nie. So moontlik is dit ingedien, is net nie goedgekeur nie. En kon dit dalk in die proses opgetel gewees het en daarom die remedie. So wat so remedie het jy tot jou beskikking? Is of dan die roete volg van afbreek of wat ook al, of dan die roete volg van langtermyn huur of die roete volg van verkoop. En in hierdie geval, ek dink is die roete gevolg van om die grond aan te koop.
Thank you, Mr. Venter. Satisfied, Councillor Gous?
In principle, the ACDP will then abstain. Thank you.
Then, with no one against it, that is it, now the number is E275 will carry through as an unanimous vote with the exception of the ACDP, Councillor Gous. We'll be starting then at the next one, E276, I suppose, Colin. Thank you. Proposed alienation of a portion of Earth 890 situated adjacent to Earth 497 Kus Road, Terni. The Truter Family Trust registration number, that's on the screen. Can I have a proposer and seconder that we can propose that we will lay that on the table by that proposal? And do I have a seconder?
I second.
Seconded by Councillor Aniki. Any questions? Don't break it, please.
I think my colleagues have a problem there with Mike.
Okay, so right, scream hard. Councillor Gous, your light is on?
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Obviously, these alienations are also direct alienations, but if I understand this item and the following item, these are small strips of land that will not be of use to anybody else. And so I would not have any objection to that. So I'll disclose directly. Thank you.
Scribe, could you take note of it? I suppose so, yes. Then it carries through as an unanimous vote with the exception of ACDP. Colin, jy is nie lekker skoon, ek kan nie mooi lees nie. E277, alienation of a portion of Earth 1 and portion of Earth 2, which is portions of Van Rensburg Road situated adjacent to Earth 321 Terni. Almost the same as the previous one. That is an oplossing, the Denton Family Trust. Can we have a proposer and a seconder for E276? I beg pardon? 277. That's why I have my legal team with me to keep me on track. Niemand nie, kan ek 'n voorsteller en 'n sekondant kry? As dit Anton se mikrofoon is stukkend, Anton, jy moet maar skree. Okay, roaming mic aansit by Councillor Anton. Seconded by Councillor Annetjie. I don't see anyone. The light that's on and it carries through as an unanimous vote. I'm at E278. Application to purchase of 20699 situated at Tiger Street. And that's an Amla Park, extension 23. Kan ek 'n voorsteller en 'n sekondant kry? Voorgestel deur raadslid Bandesi. En vir Bandesi stel voor as sekondant. Dankie, Councillor Rosina Reiters. Councillor Gous.
Mentions unique circumstances surrounding the application. If we could just get clarity on what those unique circumstances are, please, Speaker.
Anyone that can give me some clarity on that? I will listen to you and then I will ask for the clarity.
Speaker, I'm not giving clarity to my honourable councillor, but I just want to remind you that this item was before council and it went for public participation. Now it's coming back. Council approved it and then it went for public participation. Now it's coming back to council for final approval, seeing that there's no comments on it. So it's not a new item. Thank you, Speaker.
Anyone on that? Councillor Gous? Are you satisfied?
That's not clarity. I'm very aware, Speaker, oftentimes items come to council and they go through unopposed because they're going for public participation and we want to see what the community's response is. But once it comes back to council, it's then our responsibility whether we're going to approve or not. And so for that reason, if we can just, if my memory is not serving me correctly, that if we can just have clarity on what the unique circumstances were, because once again, this is the direct disposal. Thank you.
Anyone that can help me out? Mr. Prince?
This, with regard to this, the deed sale was already signed and the property, but the property, the income of the applicants was higher than allowed. And unfortunately, it was only found out later on that it was higher than the allowed income. And but the deed of sale was already signed. So this is a practical solution to the problem. And the solution being that it is now sold at the market-related price and not at discount, that it was advertised and no objections was received.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. I do see a hand of Mr. Karel Venter. Mr. Venter?
No, Speaker, no, sorry. I think Mr. Prince actually covered it. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Mr. Prince brought to the table. Are you satisfied, ma'am? Then it carries through as an unanimous vote. E278. Next one, Carl. Little last thing. E279, alienation of Earth 20662, situated at Macaulay Street, Kwanangab, adjacent to Earth 20663, situated at the corner of Louis Fourie Road and Macaulay Street, Kwanangab, by means of a tender process. If I remind myself, this one was before us and it was almost sold. And then there was a problem with the entrance. Am I right? And then that sale didn't go on, and it's up for sale now. And I've been assured by Mr. Venter that the problem with the entrance is now looked at, and it is not a problem anymore. And this 2 Urban will go on sale. And I see the hand of Mr. Venter. I'll give you a chance now, Mr. Venter. I think I've said enough of it, and we're going to listen to Mr. Venter.
Yes, no, just to add to the background, Speaker, no, it was actually on tender and we received, initially we received successful bids, if I can, or bids, not successful. But then the whole issue of accessibility to the site and so on came to the fore. through that process, and we could not award. Then we went back and we did the necessary changes and so on, follow the necessary processes as well to do that, and therefore we believe that the way it's now structured in terms of the conditions as in front of council previously and also today will allow us then to go out on tender, and hopefully we'll get successful bids.
Thank you, Director Venter. Anyone satisfied? If I don't see anyone, then 279 of 10/20/21 carries through as unanimous vote. Thank you, councillors. The next one. Proposed transfer of urban 15325 and 18985 Mossel Bay, Beto Street to Mossel Bay Municipality. It's a Mr. Prince, can you help us out? Why are these urban coming back to the municipality?
Speaker, thank you. This is just a vested property that we're transferring back to council so that we can spend some money on it for development.
Thank you. You've heard Mr. Prince. Can I have a proposer and a seconder?
Speaker, I'll propose.
Proposed by Councillor Mark Furness and 281.
Speaker,
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Cliffy Bayman.
Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor Groos.
Item, and I've understood it. I think the question of clarity that I would like to just ask is, I know with other developments, the developer has been responsible for even the infrastructure and so on, and how does this differ from others? Is it because I understand now that there's this division between Curo and is it Trainballs? I understand we're buying it back because we can't spend our money on private property. But what was the original agreement with that developer?
Prince.
Speaker, the access road initially formed part of the Village on Sea development, having the same earth number and thus making it a private road, with the other developments being approved and established afterwards by implication because the street became a public road, and that's why we transferred.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. No one else, then it carries through as an unanimous vote. The next one, 281. Uh, 281 of 10/20/21 application to lease a portion of earth 2573 situated adjacent to earth 2938 situated in March Street extension to Mossel Bay facility for injured penguins and other seabirds in the garden route. All these is about the Harry Giddy Park and Saprec that wants to be part of it in the Harry Giddy Park. And if you must have read it, and you'll see there have to be a financial plan and so what's follow on that. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for the Saprec to bring the penguins to the Harry Giddy Park?
Speaker, thank you. I'll propose.
Proposed by Deputy Mayor. Do I have a seconder?
Yes, you do, Speaker. Councillor Van Dijk.
Councillor Van Dijk, anyone who dares to bring in a counter proposal? No one, then E281 carries through as an unanimous vote. That was only tongue in the cheek. 282, application to amend notarial agreement on lease between Mossel Bay Municipality and the golf club. And the next one, cancellation of a lease agreement of a portion of earth 2011, previously known as the earth 14969 Mossel Bay. That's in the squash club. That's a rectification of problems. Can I have a proposer and a seconder on that?
Speaker, I'll propose.
Proposed by Councillor Mark Furness. Do I have a seconder?
Yes, Speaker. Leon Van Dijk.
Councillor Leon Van Dijk. And you can believe me if you will. If you want to, but I was a squash player myself, and I had many pleasant hours on that squash courts, and that was quite a long time ago. Then 282 carries through as an unanimous vote. Councillor.
Speaker, I just want to understand the practicalities of this. I would only like to ask for the sake of consistency, that this new council that comes in, when they come in, if they would consider re-looking the lease agreement with the Mossel Bay Golf Club. They pay 10 Rand a year lease for all that land. And I know it's possible to do it because we have renegotiated the lease agreements with the airfield. So if we can look at that, the new councillors can look at that. Thank you, Speaker.
It's not on the agenda today. That will have to be on the next term. So I cannot have a decision on that one. If you're back, Councillor Gous, you can put in a request for that one. The next one then, E282 carries through as an unanimous vote. We have 283, upgrading of a trunk road, Road 33/1 at Beach Boulevard West to Garrett Street, acquisition of portions of properties needed for municipal street purposes. That's the upgrading of Louis Fourie-weg. Can I have a proposer and a seconder?
Speaker, I will propose the item.
Proposed by Councillor Leon. Seconder.
Speaker, I'll gladly second.
Seconded by Councillor Mark Furness. I don't see any lights, then it carries through as an unanimous vote. Vote 283 of 10/20/21. Thank you, councillors. We're at the next one, Colin. 284, disposal of capital assets. Like me, when you become old, you have to go, and that's the way of this capital assets as well. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for that we can sell these stuff on a stock, and then I will not say stock fair, but on a, what is a fandisie? Auction. Thank you, Mark. Disposal of capital assets. Can I have a proposal and a seconder?
I'll be proposing, Speaker. Thank you.
Proposed by Councillor Mark Furness, seconded by?
Speaker, I'm seconded. It's Councillor Aniki.
Seconded by Councillor Aniki. Anyone against? No, then it carries through as an unanimous vote. Next one, Carmen, please. E285, application for the renewal of a lease agreement of a portion of the municipal commons 539 situated adjacent to portion 29 of the farm 250 Bochums Bay. This is Johan Miller. Voorsteller en een secondant.
Speaker, I will propose.
Proposed by.
Be my very last one. I promise you now.
The laaste van die laaste proposed by older lady Mari. Is there a seconder for that one? Seconder, I see a light from Alderman Groenewald.
Thank you, Speaker. Cannot support it.
Supported by Councillor Groenewald, Alderman. Then no hands. Then E285 carried through as an unanimous vote. Thank you, councillors. We're almost there, councillors. Application for the renewal of lease agreement of a portion of earth 4807 portion of 125 of the farm 129 situated in Long Street, Great Black River. The Great Black River Tennis Club. I just want to take you back to the farm. That farm was a farm when Moses was still in the cradle. So can I have a proposer and a seconder for this agreement?
Speaker, I propose. It's Councillor Aniki van Rensburg speaking.
Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg. Do I have a seconder for that one? Seconded by Councillor Anton. Anyone against? No one against. Then E286 carried through as an unanimous vote. Next one, Colin, please. 287. Alienation of earth 13199 situated at Terrace Ndanda Street, Joe Slovo, Mossel Bay by means of a tender process. And yesterday I said to the caucus I was Terrace Ndanda was with us when we had this forum that brought the bigger Mossel Bay together to one council. Terence was a very fond soccer player, Tabu. He was a soccer player, Terence. Xavier. Boxing. Yesterday I said soccer that he was a boxer and he was a very man to look up to. He was a man for the community. He was a friend of mine, and yeah, and I'm so glad that a street is being named to Terence. Can I have a proposer and seconder for 287?
I propose, Speaker.
Proposed by Councillor Fifas. Thank you. Malombo.
I second it.
Fifas and the one seconded, the other proposed. Thank you very much, councillors.
May I just quickly?
Just 1 second. Can I have keep quiet, please? As Councillor Gous is on the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to ask, I've got 3 questions. How did this property become a municipal asset? I've also got here, how was it built with no plans, and who was the leasee? Was the rental up to date, or when did they stop paying? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. I haven't got an answer for you. Is there anyone that can help? Mr. Prince, Mr. Venter?
Speaker, was the first question, how did it become a municipal asset?
Yeah.
No, that's history, Speaker. I don't have that. I guess it was through amalgamation of previous local councils and so on and so forth. So I think that's the reason. Secondly, I believe that, I can't confirm if when it was leased, if that lease amount was paid and up to date. That also I can't confirm. I think one needs to go back. But yes, I think the best, the recommendation is in front of council. Sorry, Speaker, but I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, that was rude of me to put you on the spot, and having answers that's been for many years that's been done. So yeah, I don't have an answer for you, Councillor Gous.
Speaker, I appreciate that it was a difficult situation, and I would have previously, I would have submitted my questions beforehand, but the time was very short. Speaker, my concern here is almost like a dereliction of duty because of this massive damage and loss to this Mossel Municipality Council with this property, the damage that's been done to it. If you saw those photos, it's horrific at how that building is being stripped. And the people that I want to hold responsible for it is the lessees, because it seems to me that they just abandoned that property, and we've only discovered at the last minute how badly it's been stripped and defaced. I'm not in opposition to us selling it now or leasing it out. Oh no, we are selling alienation. But I would like to see some kind of repercussion to the lessees that have just abandoned the building and actually caused us this damage. Thank you.
I think that decision was taken long ago for the demolishing of that, just at a little hall that's standing there. Councillor Buddha? Can you bring me to where it is in town, please?
Yes, because let me give a background of that case. The property belonged to the municipality previously. I think the case was run by Esther Class. And then they ran the crash there, leasing from municipality. Later on, he passed on. After he passed on, the building was still under his name. And then everybody go in before he was sent back to municipality. And then he tried to go there and then to talk to the people so that they must not go in and out pastors and everybody go there without leasing. It's where it come to be finalized. And then the community come together and then the road municipality so that they must again react with the crash there. Then we agreed to the community was going to have a crash again at that building. So the crash is already vandalized and then that's why now you see this here. So that we can have it properly. And that's proper.
Thank you, Councillor Buddha. See, that's the price you have to pay for being an old man. You must answer the questions. Dankie, Raadslid Gous. And we then go on. E287 carries through as a unanimous vote. Thank you very much. The next one is 288, minutes of the disciplinary board meetings held on the 16th and the 20th of September and 14th of October. The provision of landfill site, that's between us and Garden Route. Mr. Prince, can you put some light on this one before I put it to the test?
Speaker, thank you. In short, this matter is about money not spent or ever spent. That there was nowhere anything unauthorized done or any actions unauthorized. It was purely with regard to a definition that is not 100% clear or which is under question and which should be most likely to be reviewed and which we will ask the relevant departments to have a look at, to ask Treasury to have a look at. So the committees, you will see there was also opinions asked with regard to this, and the recommendations of the committee is stated under the recommendations. Thank you.
Before I ask for a proposer and a seconder, I just want to read the recommendation that cognizance be taken of the minutes of the disciplinary board meetings held on the 16th and the 20th of September, attached hereto as Annexure A and B respectively, that cognizance be taken of the minutes of the disciplinary board meeting held on the 14th of October, attached hereto as a, as an Annexure C and be accepted. And then the last one, not the last one, the third one, that cognizance be taken that the disciplinary board accepted legal opinion received from Mrs. Herbie Woesthuizen and Associated, as summarized in the minutes of the meeting held in the 14th of 2021 October. And the last one, no, not the last one, there's more to come. Number 4, that with due regard to the opinion received on 21,377,926.00 not be charged as unauthorized expenditure, as it has not been incurred nor committed to the municipality, but that it is deemed to be an unforeseen expense to be recurred in the future. And the next one, 5, that the expense is not unauthorized expenditure. It does not necessitate any action in terms of the financial misconduct regulations of the MFMA. Number 6, that the matter regarding non-cash book entries be referred back to Directorate Financial Services to consider whether it must be dealt with in accordance with the Mossel Bay Municipality expenditure policy as an unforeseen expenditure when it has been incurred in specific financial year. And then the last one, that the matter regarding non-cash items be referred by the Chief Financial Officer as commentary to National Treasury with a review of the Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act, the MFMA, and its regulations to amend the relevant sections of definitions accordingly. Having said that, can I have a proposer and a seconder for this one? E288.
Speaker, I'll propose.
Proposed by Councillor Mark Furness. Can I have a seconder for that one?
Yes, Speaker, on a second.
Been seconded by Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg. Any questions, any remarks?
The Speaker.
Councillor Gous.
Thank you. I don't oppose the item. And I certainly can't see any fault in how our director now has managed the item. If I've understood it correctly, the mistake regarding measurements and stuff was done by a consultant. If I've understood the item correctly. And the mistake is going to cost our ratepayers 21 million.
No, I don't think you're right.
Thank you.
Mr. Prince.
Speaker.
Thank you.
Explain it to me.
The Speaker, no, that's not correct. It was estimate that it will cost us a certain amount, and then that estimate was adjusted. No money was spent at all up to this stage. So he just adapted his estimate to reflect a more realistic value, and that's all that happened.
Thank you, Speaker. No, Mr. Prince, I understood it like that if the way I made my statement explained it differently, that's the way I understood it. But what I'm saying is the person that did the estimation is the one that actually has cost us the extra money. And that was the point that I was making. Thank you.
Can cost us, haven't cost us a cent up till
It will
now.
cost us in the future.
Speaking of, I might just finally respond to that, it may cost us, and then that will be unforeseen at that stage.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have a proposer and a seconder? Yeah, that's right. Then the next one, Colin.
Speaker, dit was die laaste item geweest.
Okay, dankie. Ja, hou net vast, Colin. Wat is het? 289.
Sorry, Speaker.
Dit wat nou 'n jong man doen as jy wil trou, né? Skrap jou kop deur mekaar. E289 of 1021 request for environments payment to Garden Route District Municipality. Kan ek 'n voorstel en 'n sekondant kry hiervoor?
Asseblief, dankie Speaker. Ek sal dit graag voorstel en ek wil net kommentaar lewer as ek 'n sekondant kry. I would like to make a comment after it's been seconded. You allow the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Do I have a seconder for that? Secondeer by Raadsdame Vanolia Fortuin. Ek sien nie iemand anders nie. U kan maar aanmerkings maak, Raadslid Bani.
Thank you so much, Speaker. Now, I really would like to say that this Garden Route Food Pantry really does excellent work. You will not believe it, but they deliver 50,000 foodstuffs to learners every day in our district. That's a lot. The building unfortunately burned down and they had to move to another premises on the other side of the road. You know, those of us that are going to receive ex gratia allowances, instead of, I'm not interfering with your religious beliefs, but think about giving them the 10% of what you're going to get. Speaker, then I would just like to say, if you look at this agenda, there are some people sitting there next to you and some online. I'm talking about that man that still read those things, and our legal section and the town planning section of the Mumbai. Look at all the volume of work that went into this agenda. It's exceptional. I know it's a special council agenda, and I know that we were pressured that we must deal with it. I can really bear with you, or can share with you, that some members of those departments stay with me, and they experience tremendous pressure to deliver this. But it's a team effort from our legal section and from you and our things. I would just like to say we must really appreciate what we have today for lunch, for breakfast. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, we're almost at the end of our day. So I want to answer folks. Yes.
It's just, I have great appreciation for what the food pantry is doing as well. I would like to just ask, I noticed that there's a movement of funds of approximately 120,000 from the rural regeneration project. Is that a savings that is being moved from a previous, I can't imagine because we're only in September, or are we scrapping that project? If somebody can answer me now, otherwise I'll just send it via email.
I don't have answer in that, anyone?
No. Director Nel speaks. Speaker, Director Nel.
Director Nel. Directeur Nel, jammer ek het nie jou hand gesien nie, man.
Thank you, Speaker. No, that project has not been scrapped. We have always thought that this would be part of moral regeneration because the work that they are doing. It is basically just that the vote for model regeneration is not the correct type of vote to pay the Garden Route District Municipality for this work done. There is some other funds in this vote as well for the other projects we are doing. So we are just basically transferring the 119,000 to another vote that we can use the transfer and subsidies vote to pay the Garden Route District Municipality, but the project's not been scrapped at all.
Goed, heren. En baie dankie directeur Nel. Dit bring ons aan die einde van die dag. Ek gaan nou vir Raadslid Nossie vra om vir ons met 'n gebed af te sluit. Raadslid Nossie asseblief.
Speaker, voor die dag van net ek wou nie sê waarnemende munisipale bestuurder ook net iets goed nie.
Okay, dit is altyd lekker om 'n kerie te hê om op te leen. MM, as jy op die lig?
Yes, Speaker. Thank you so much, Speaker. No, Speaker. Just as courtesy out of from myself, the management team.
Mr. Puren.
Yes, Speaker. Can you hear?
Will you please come down to the council chambers and bring it here where the people can see you, if it's possible.
Okay, thanks. I'll do that.
Thank you very much.
On my way. Thank you.
Raadslede, en daarna as meneer Pireni was en ons het na hom geluister, dan wil ek vra van Nossie om vir ons af te sluit en daarna wil ek vir u vra om nie gelyk te gaan met die tablette en goed, geen net kans, die sal 2 of 3 mense buite wees om dit te ontvang en dit af te teken, maar ons is nog steeds in COVID situasies, so moenie drommel daar nie, kom ons gee mekaar so 3 op 'n slag om te gaan. En dan wil ek vir u vra as die derde een uitgaan en jy's gehelp, wys net vir ons die volgende 3 kan gaan, sodat ons mekaar dan in die nuwe jaar kan sien en almal nog in die getal kan wees. Ons gaan nie moeilikheid soek nie. Meneer Pireni sal met ons wees. Meneer Pireni, baie welkom.
Speaker?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know, you can rule me out of order. I just didn't hear it. But people, the councillors should not go home. Did you tell them that?
No, we're not going home, but that will be the last thing, Mr. Director, I think you've promised us we're having a cup of coffee or something to eat in a town hall. Am I right?
Yes, please just notify all councillors that there are definitely some eats in the side hall of the council of the town hall. Please, people should not go, and people could gather there as well.
Thank you, Mr. Director, Mr. Jantjies. I think you've all heard what was said by Mr. Jantjies afterwards, after we've handed in our all the municipal tablets and whatever. And then we go to the side hall. I've mentioned it earlier, to have something to eat and to drink. Meneer Pireni.
Speaker, thank you for availing me this opportunity. It's even better that I can sit here amongst the councillors in the chamber. I will be neglecting my duty, Speaker, if we don't, as an administration, also speak our heart towards the council and convey our gratitude for the past term. I was fortunate I wasn't here the whole term, but since 27, I can say, Speaker, in Mossel Bay, this is my 6th council that I've been working for. And for me personally, it was the best years of my life. And unfortunately, it's also my twilight years of my life. Speaker, if I look back over this term, we, on behalf of the management team and all our officials, we want to convey our heartfelt gratitude towards all of you. All the political parties that were in this council, starting with the Freedom Front Plus, COSA, ACDP, ANC, and DA, you've really treated us as an administration with respect. And if I can just mention a few things, Speaker, Mossel Bay is #1 in the country for many reasons. And #1, Speaker, I must congratulate this council for always involving our maker in the business of the day. We cannot do things without God. #2, Speaker, is the respect that you as councillors of all political parties
head for the administration. It's very easy to work where council respect administration. I believe that respect cultivates respect. If council respect us or the community, they will get the respect also. Yes, there were instances where there were misunderstandings. It will always be there. Speaker, the other very thing that I've observed, and I think the management team as well, you kept politics for the council chamber, never amongst our officials. You didn't expect our officials to play politics. You expected officials to do the best that we can for the resources they have in order to deliver services to our community. I appreciate that, Speaker, because that is what municipalities are there for, to render services. And my gratitude for that. The other thing, the structures you've put in place as a council, if I look at things like the management team between the mayoral committee and the direction, I think that was the engine where everything happens, Speaker. And we could differ with each other there, but still respect one another. We appreciate that very, very much. Mossel Bay is stable because we had a stable council right over the political spectrum. There was very, very good debates in here, Speaker, but in the end, the communities out there picked the fruit. It didn't go about politics, in my view. It didn't go about any political party, but about delivering the best services to our communities. For that, we as officials are very, very grateful, Speaker. It's only when the council is stable like that we had a stable administration also. There's nothing that the council that destabilized our administration. I can give you that due today, and for that reason, we are very, very grateful. Chairperson, lastly, I wish all our councillors, it's the end of the term now in a few days. It's the last council meeting. Some of us are not coming back, I believe that. I wish them well, Speaker, and I really hope that God bless them wherever they go. We've become friends here. We've become colleagues, and the respect we had for one another, we won't forget that. And for those who are going to take part or contest in the elections, thank you that you kept it clean up till now. And we hope that all of you who are on the post now will come back in the next council. Lastly, Speaker, we want to give, as a management team, we want to give you assurance. You gave us some delegations today. We will look after the municipality for you as we've always done. So go rest assured that we won't take erratic decisions like giving everybody now 10% increment or there are things that we can't do. You can be sure that as a council, we will look after the council until the new council is constituted in November. Thank you very much, Speaker, and to all our colleagues, we're not going to see everything of the best. Those who are not coming. Thank you so much.
Yes. Ek kan toe uitsondering maak, bly net sit as daar enige van die raadslede wat nog iets wou sê. Councillor Bandesi, and I've got a light on your back, Councillor Gous. Councillor Gous, you've got the floor.
Speaker, I just wanted to say to our acting MM, when that item served at council this morning, I wanted to actually offer you our condolences. Because it's not an easy job, and we're fully aware of that. Speaker, I actually said all I wanted to say in the previous council meeting, thinking that was our last. But I think I would like to just add one last thing. That in the time that I have spent here, I've grown very fond of my colleagues. And, sorry, I'm emotional. But I would like to maybe just say this. We are heading into an election and we've got 1 week to go. Any opposition is not an opposition to you as people. It's only an opposition of ideas. So we might be opposing ideas and we might be have opposing worldviews, but it's not an opposition of the person. And I've never experienced that from any of you either. And so I want to bless you all.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. Councillor Bandesi.
Speaker, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to also say my last words in this council chambers. I've been here now, it's my 10th year as a councillor. Of course, before that, I had about 12 to 13 years in this municipality, serving as an official. I want to say, starting to Mr. Puren as an acting MM speaker, that before I spoke, I felt something like, I don't know, I felt shivering. But I wanted to say that, honestly speaking, this municipality, through you, the officials of Mossel Municipality, it's in good hands. If you look at the Auditor General's report, just only for the 2019-2020 financial year, it shows how municipalities' funds are being handled in South Africa, entirely in South Africa. And Mossel Bay municipality is one of those municipalities that appeared to be handled, whose funds and whose services have been handled in a good way. It's one of the top examples, and of course, because of the way you are as officials. And also, I want to say that I appreciate the fact that all of us across this council chamber, particularly I know with me, whenever I call on any, please pass this message on any of the directors to say, Director so-and-so, there is this problem here in the community. Something is happening immediately. On the same day, same time, something is happening. And that open line, I wish that you keep it open for other councillors that will be coming. And it's been helpful. It's been helpful to the community, not to us, but to the community. If you take a look at what is happening in other municipalities here in South Africa, the situation is bad. This is one of the best municipalities. This is one of the cleanest towns in South Africa. So keep up the good work. I really appreciate that on behalf of the people out there. Also to you, Speaker, starting to you, I must say that with time, it was you that said this, that in the beginning there were here and there there would be fights in the council chambers and so on. And of course, with time, we all matured. We all matured with time. Got matured with time. And of course, it's part and parcel of politics. It's why you are here in this council chamber. Yes, we had to have differences. At the end of the day, we came to conclusions and for the betterment of the people of Mossel Bay. And I must say, I wish that this municipality can remain in good hands and not be like flip-flop other municipalities out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaker, thank you.
Yeah, as Bishop Tutu said, you may clap in this cathedral. Meneer Baron.
I think I'm the last person to speak. I wanted to be the last one. I don't want you to speak after me. Speaker, I want to say.
I cannot guarantee that.
Speaker, I want to say from my side, I had a nice experience for the last 5 years. When you are not in politics, you think you know how it works until you come here. You find out it's a different world. So I had a big experience for the last 5 years. I want to thank all the councillors. The one weak point that I have, I don't know whether it's a weak point, I'm in love with people. I love everyone. Rich, poor. I have a soft spot for the poor people, for the poorest of the poor. But all people, I don't have a problem with the humans, with the people. I love them. And then I also want to say to Mr. Puren, I think I was the councillor that bothers you the most. But thank you, Mr. Puren, for your door that is always open. It's nice when I come and sit next to your table and you pick up the phone. And you arrange the problem that I bring there. When I walk out there, the problem is solved. And in all the departments, I know in all departments to who I must go. And then they solve it. So for the administration, I also want to thank them. Yeah, so we as councillors, we were privileged to can walk into an office, even with a community member with you. And then the community members say, yeah, but you as councillors, you have a lot of power. We struggle in these offices. and then you come and walk at the other door, and then you come to the biggest of the biggest boys, and then you solve it in 2 minutes, and it's finished. Councillors have a lot of power if they use it. But thanks to everyone, and I hope I will see most of the faces here in council again. I don't know when I will be here, but thanks, I love all of you. Sorry, I also want, I must say to Mr. Prince and Balani, and also from Dout, thanks to them also, because I walked in any office and then they solved the problem that they have. While I'm sitting here, I have offices for legal people from places there in Great Park. He wants to know about something. After this, I will walk to them again. But thanks to all of you that assist us as councillors for the last 5 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Baron. I saved the best for last. Older lady, Mari. She's the most senior of us all, being here for many, many years.
Guys, I think I can learn from flow cleaner. Municipality. Se altijd activiteiten om het exporteren activiteiten om te naar een land. Mensen vooral in het algemeen. Snap je de naam? Ja, van eerst dan weer mijn kop. Dit is een hele ja van iedereen die straks nog meer in daar ja. Iedere keer is een vraag die ik dank. you very much for the English people. You keep me on the wall. So thank you very much for your
Met die laatste slag van die hamer is ons dan klaar met ons debatte en ek vra dan vir jou, Raadslid Nossie, om vir ons jou gebed te sing.
Speaker,
God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. It was nice to be here.
Will you put on your mic, please?
I just want to thank you for the experience that I have as for 10 years, 5 years as a councillor. And I granted the certificate because I want to go. Thank you so much for it. I'm powerful now. I know a lot of experience. So I can work together with other councillors that are coming in. If they want to work with me, I can work with them. Thank you so much. So now, as for now, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Now it's my last day here. But I don't want to be my last day. I want you sometimes to call me and tell me that you miss me, so that I can just come and talk or drink coffee. That's what I would like, because I'm so lonely. Hey, my family is apart, why they are going to the graves, all sort of thing. So I'm lonely. So I will just ask you as my family to be with me all the time. Thank you. You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you, my Lord. You are worthy to be praised. You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you, my Lord. You are worthy to be praised. We give you all the glory. We worship you, my Lord. You are worthy to be praised. We give you all the glory. We worship you, my Lord. You are worthy to be praised. Ngizakuwe ngale mini besigqibelisana ngale mini namhlanje emthethelelo wokuqala. Sizakuwe sisithithela umoya oyingcwele. Hlisa umoya oyingcwele phezu kwethu. Usisikelele kanjengoba busikelele kule 5 years. Ihlala nathi ke msindisi woxolo kwindlela esizazithatha mayibe ngukhokelayo. Hlamba ngegazi lakho kukho konke okubi nokuhle. Usisindise kwinkohlakalo zalomhlaba. Thethelela ke mthethelela abantwana bakhe abazawuphatha le Mossel. Ubanike izandla ezinomonde. Ubanike izandla ezishushu ukwenzela bonke abantu ekuhlaleni ayazi uba baxhomekeke kubo. Ndibabeka kuwe ke mthethelelo oxolo ndithi banabo. Hlala nabo misiyongcwele ngomoya wakho oyingcwele kude ngoku kube ngaphakathi am.
Amen.
Hey, dankie Raadslid Joffrey. Handig tablets in. Gesels op die stoep, dan gaan ons as 'n eenheid tot by die saal asseblief. Dankie. Nou hier's nou 'n kamera wat moet af.
We'll go to